of lightning out of the left hand of Scott Hudson.
Tonight is Kyle Prepolec's night.
Kyle pouring it on. Yeah, and Kyle is so violent in his striking. Oh, liver shot. Liver shot, and it's over. Wow. Holy smoke.
Oh, and Scott not wasting any time going for the double.
Big pickup and a slam.
Oh, right hand and drops him there with the left. Scott Hudson puts the lights out.
What a beautiful performance by Hudson.
The co-main event of BTC 3 will be a showdown between two of Ontario's top-ranked pros, Mississauga's Scott Hudson and Windsor's Kyle Prepolec. After impressive careers all over the regional MMA scene, they are both on a tipping point of career breakthroughs. June 23rd, they will face off for BTC's inaugural 165-pound super lightweight title.
He's been on my radar for a while. I knew that if we both kept winning, it was only a matter of time that we fought each other. It's 5 rounds. It's going to be a war.
He's a big, well-rounded guy. He's, he's tough, but I don't think he's ever had an opponent like me before.
Kyle's the type of opponent to bring it at me. I always have the best fights against really high-energy guys.
I feel like I'm the more complete, better version of whoever they have fought. I am that next level.
Live in Burlington, June 23rd. Scott Hudson has grown up and trained all over Ontario's Golden Horseshoe. Originally born and raised in Mississauga, he now lives in his adopted home of Hamilton. Scott spends his time training between Parabellum in Oakville and BTC in Burlington. Coming off a pair of impressive wins in the BTC cage, he has his eyes set on his first pro title, June 23rd.
I was into boxing as a teenager and I was training recreationally. I really loved it. After I finished playing like competitive hockey and competitive sports as a teenager, I worked for a couple of years and I really had like a competitive void missing in my life. I decided to get into mixed martial arts. I've been doing it ever since. I started training at a couple of gyms in Mississauga where I'm from, and then I traveled to Thailand, had some amateur fights out there, some Muay Thai fights, came back home, trained at a couple gyms in the GTA. In my amateur fights and my early fights, I had some easy go, so I thought that it was like easier than it actually was. And then once the competition started getting better and I took a couple losses, I was like, I really gotta figure my shit out or quit, right? I got hooked up with Rory, I think in like 2012 because we had the same manager at the time. And when he opened his place, Para, I've been training with him ever since, making trips back and forth to Thailand in the meantime, and obviously here at Burlington Training Center as well.
Scott Hudson has a number of things going for him. He is a tough human being, a tough human being. There is no quit in Scott Hudson. He's got a work ethic like you wouldn't believe, and not a show-off work ethic. It is part of his lifestyle to show up and train hard and work hard day in, day out, and I have an immense amount of respect for that. On top of that, extremely talented fighter.
Scott's a long guy. He's hard to deal with at that weight class. I think he's going to possess a lot of awkward and uncomfortable positions for Prepolec, but it's going to be a good fight. They're both tough guys.
The environment at Para right now is it's really good. We have a lot of high-level training partners. Obviously, like Adam Asenza, me and him put in work every single day. Josh Hill's out of there. Kyle Nelson we have with us right now. A lot of high-level training partners, and as well as everybody on the card, like Aaron Jeffrey, Lindsay Garbett. Really good attitude. Yeah, it's a good environment to be around. And I can take these fights and I can look at my opponent like a puzzle and how I'm gonna beat him. And it's super rewarding kind of seeing your game plan fall into place. The edge against Kyle is I'm a little bit longer. I do well against southpaws. There's not too much he can show me that I haven't seen before, and I don't see him putting me in a ton of trouble.
All of those things are now paying off exponentially greater than they were early, when everybody's kind of hungry and working and things like that. He sustained that work ethic over a decade-long career, and now it's coming to fruition in a big way for him. I expect a great performance and a big win for Scott.
Across the border from Detroit, Michigan, you will find the home of Kyle Prepolec. Prepolec has spent the last 6 years raking up 10 professional wins with 9 finishes. Coming off a 10-month layoff from injury, he plans on picking up where he left off and solidifying his spot as #1 in Ontario.
Back when I was like 15, I was playing hockey, and then I decided to go into boxing to get stronger, build myself up. And then parents didn't want me to box. Then I was like, you can't stop me from my high school sport, so I joined high school wrestling. You can't stop me there, right? I did what I had to do and started kickboxing, and kept up with the wrestling and just the mixed martial arts aspect. And then made my way to Maximum Training Center, the gym I'm at now. We got up-and-comers like Shane Monahan and rising stars Tony Laramie, TJ Laramie, myself, and then all the guys from Michigan Top Team as well. We cross-train with like guys that are in the UFC, and we're getting that live taste of that grind, that hard work, that extra work ethic that these guys are bringing with us to complete our whole game.
Kyle's a special fighter just because he's such a good athlete. He's just hard to deal with just because he's got that power, he's got that speed. He looks really good in in all the sparring sessions. He's giving troubles to pretty much everybody he's sparring. So he's just one of those guys that when you're in the ring with him, when you're getting punched and kicked by him, you just get overwhelmed and you feel like quitting.
To beat Scott, just go in there and go fight. No matter what he brings, I'll always adapt and be 5 steps ahead or a few steps ahead, and always have something else that I'm gonna do. This isn't checkers right here. This is a chess match now. Whatever you're gonna do, I'm gonna do more of and be ahead of that and already think what you're already gonna do. Whether it goes to the ground, if I'm on top, I'm gonna pound you out, try to sweep or submit. If whatever the position is, I'm always gonna try and dominate and keep an advanced position and always be attacking. You can't teach mental toughness. Some people don't like getting hit. I'll embrace it. I know it's part of the game, and like Rocky says, you got to keep moving forward. And I live by that. No matter how hard you get hit, keep moving forward, find a way to win, become a winner. Get what you're worth. The training camp in general has been a lot better, a lot more well maintained, with going to physio and getting in the proper routines and proper timing, the proper food and fuel, and just the support from other teammates to help push and get further. Because there's don't get me wrong, everyone thinks it's always a great day, but we have a lot more hard days than we do good days, and we just make those bad days into our great days, and that's what helps us become the greatest of all time, right? That's what helps us get to that level. And I feel like with the teams for Michigan Top Team and MTC, with everyone embracing and working together, I feel like that's what it takes to get to that next step. What you should expect from me is, a newer, complete, better version of me every single time. I'm always full of surprises and full of excitement.
Fighters can be a little bit delusional a lot of themselves, so you gotta have people around that are being brutally honest with you, and I think I have that.
Cardio, the hard work, the ethic, I'm not training to get second place, I'm training to get to my dreams, and I'm not letting anyone stop me.
People think that I'm a striker, but it's not necessarily true. It's just I want to take the path of least resistance. You know what I mean? So if I feel like that's where it's going to be, and I'm going to stand, and I can keep you at range and do my thing against you, then I'm going to do it. If that changes and I've got to close the distance and work on the inside, then that's what I'm going to do. If I've got to take you down, if I've got to work to get off my back, if I've got to, play jiu-jitsu on the top, then it's what I've got to do. I've got to Decision wins, knockout wins, submission wins.
Whether, you know, it's dirty boxing, pressure against the cage, I gotta take him down, wrestle him, or outstrike him, wherever it is, I'm gonna control and dominate. I will take every position I can.